Hey everybody, welcome to How to Organize Your Business Projects and Ideas. I'm really excited to be here today to talk to you guys about a really easy way to be able to get those ideas out of your head and onto paper and actually implemented. So let's get right into it. I'm really glad that you're here and you've made a really great choice to watch this quick little video in class on how to do this so that you can be able to map out your projects with ease, be way more organized, and it will really help you to be less scatterbrained. I'm not sure about you, but I used to have a lot of sticky notes everywhere, stuck on my computer, stuck all over the wall, stuck all over everywhere. And I really prefer things to be in one tidy place, because that's what makes me feel like I'm ready to do work. I'm the kind of person who needs a clean workspace before I can get a lot of things accomplished. So by doing this style of mapping out your projects, I can keep it all into one book. So if you happen to have my project planner journal, which is available on Amazon, you can follow along with that. And if you don't, you just need a journal or a notebook, or you don't need anything but pen and paper for this. So there's no reason that you can't totally get on it. If you continue to use this method for organizing your projects and things like that, you'll be way more focused, because when you sit down at your desk, it is just such a great feeling to be able to know, okay, so these are what I have to work on today. This is the time frame that I have. Which things here can I get done right now? And so your productivity level will be really increased. All right. So there's also a free worksheet. It's a mind mapping template and a guide to follow along that you can print out and use to work on your own things, and it will help guide you, and that will be available along with this mini class. All right. Okay, so where do I begin? You grab your pen and paper, your journal, your notebook, your project planning journal, whatever you have with you right now. So then step number one, we're going to go through these in steps. Step number one is to create a brainstorming list. I call it my little brainstorming session. This is also great if you're in the middle of so many things, or you have a lot of stuff in your head. It's a great way to get that all out of your head, get it onto paper, really be able to free up your brain. Because when I'm feeling overwhelmed and I'm dabbling in a whole bunch of different projects at once, which is really not a good thing. Multitasking, that's a whole nother story, but that can just kill your flow. And so I'm really trying to not multitask and super focus on the project at hand. I find I get a lot more done, and it's a lot more rewarding at the end. So what I'd like you to do is create your brainstorming list. Think about all the stuff in your head, all the projects, all the ideas, and just get it out. And I don't want you to be judgmental. I don't want you to say, oh, that's stupid, or that's not a good idea. That's a dumb one. Don't do it. Do not judge anything at this point. You're just getting it all out, because you just never know when you could actually use this stuff. And your idea that you might consider useless right now might be fantastic in a few months when you're like, oh, I wrote something down about that. Let me go back to it. Okay, so you're going to write down your list and start really getting all that stuff out of your head. So go ahead, pause this, and do that right now and come back. All right, welcome back. Okay, so what is step number two? Now what? Here's what I'd like you to do. I'd like you to go through your brainstorming list, and I would like you to pick a couple projects, or one project, or whatever you're looking at. Just don't plan out more than 2 or 3 at a time. It's too overwhelming. So I would say pick your top one first that really excites you the most. Like, go with something that really is fun, because when something is fun and exciting to you, you're way more apt to get it done and want to start it and work on it than the thing that doesn't look as exciting to you, doesn't have that high vibe feel to you. So let's just say for this example that you're going to pick your top project. So there is also in the worksheets included in here for free, have another tool. That is called a mind mapping tool. I have given you a really cool example of it on your worksheet template, and it's not included in these slides. So I'm going to go ahead and add that one in here, because this is a place where what you're going to do with your brainstorm is you're going to translate that into a mind map. So what I'd like you to do is think of it as put your big project in the middle of your paper, okay? So you know the typical mind map, I'm sure. Most people have done it multiple times. It's a fantastic, easy tool that anybody can do. And so you just create a bubble in the middle of your page, and that will be your master project title, okay? So go ahead and write your title in the middle. Then you're going to have spokes coming off this, and you can again refer to the template attached here that you'll be getting for free download. It's a PDF you can print if you need a guide. Okay, so then you're going to have spokes coming off of that bubble, and you're going to have things like inspirational people, references, and ideas, which we're going to talk to as we go along. You're going to have the topic list. So every project that you create usually has a bunch of master topics. So say I'm going to create, my big project is creating a mini course. Well, then I would have a bubble that would come off of the spoke that would say slides. And then off of that, I would have topics. So I would say here we're on number 2, as you can see. So I would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, however many topics. And you can break those down into tasks, things like that. So go ahead and use that template as a guide. Create your mind map. And then when you look at it, you can really see, it starts to show you how you can see all this detail, the tasks coming up, because each of those bubbles is going to need to be broken down further. In order for you to be more productive, you need to make bite-sized pieces of tasks. So this is why I really like this mind mapping tool. And everything you do, you're looking at it going, what is the importance level in this, right? Because there's a lot of different factors to choosing which project that you'd like to do first and why it's important to you. And maybe it needs to be done in a certain priority. Okay, so whether you're doing this in your book, here's an example of the project planner journal in this photo that I've been talking about. In that has got lined paper, but like I'm telling you guys today, how to do it with a mind map is just as great, or you can do it hand in hand, because actually they really correspond great together. So now what I want you to do is step number 3 is plan out your project topics. So every master project, like I said, is going to have project topics. So here we use the example of a mini class. So my mini class might include number 1, do your brainstorm. Number 2, the next topic would be choose your make a priority list or create a mind map. Number 3, plan out your project topics. And as you can see, that they'll just flow into each other. And off of that, you'll go, oh, yes, I can plan out my project topics. And then when you realize that how many topics you have, those need to be broken down into tasks. You'll see how you're creating a really neat list of broken down every little thing, and it just gets more broken down and more broken down. And it's just such a fantastic way to do that. So go ahead and think about your main master topics that you'd like to cover and really write down everything you can think of, or go back to your brainstorm and make sure that on your mind map has all those individual little ideas that you want to incorporate into your master project, and you write those down. So this is a great way so you don't lose those amazing ideas. And don't forget to keep a really simple little notepad and a pen by bedside table, because for some weird reason at night is when we always seem to get these fantastic ideas, or we have an awesome dream and we get, oh, I know what to do. I've got it. And then you think, I'll remember. And then you wake up and it's totally gone. You know, I'm sure you know about what I'm saying. All right. Okay, so now we're looking at step number 4. This is kind of what I just went over. So what you're going to do is you're going to determine every single task needed or associated to complete each project. And these are just those smaller tasks like we just talked about, broken down into everything needed. And you can continue to make a bubble with a spoke on your mind map if you want to do all this first, and then take all those little tasks later and bring them into your project planner or your notebook or whatever, and then list them out in priority or areas of importance. All right, step number 5. Now what I'd like you to do is decide on specific timelines for each project. And the reason that I say this is because there's going to be certain tasks that say you need to hire someone to help you with, or you can't complete it alone. Or maybe you got to take a little course on how to do something technical before you can get that task done. Or maybe you need to talk to a few people and get some information first. Or maybe you need to research some stuff. Or maybe you just don't know how to do it and you need to ask somebody and get a little bit of training, that kind of thing. Okay, or maybe it's so key to getting your project done that it's the main thing and it needs to be done first. So this is why it's key to really decide on specific timelines. So go ahead and write down the timeline you'd like to have on each topic, so that it gives you a little bit more reinforcement to really get that project started and implemented. And go ahead on your mind map or your project planning sheet in your journal or notes or whatever, and write down those extra things that if you need help with them, who do you have to call? Who do you need to email? Who do you need to talk to? What little thing do you have to research? What do you have to look up? What do you need to do? Anything that you can think of at this point that could hinder you from finishing that, write it down. All righty. And step number 6. This is an awesome one, because this is something that is we all have people that we look up to, people that are in the same niche as us, similar things, or people that inspire you. So it's really key, and I even added on the mind map, you'll see on the template, that I like to write down people or references or items that inspire me. Maybe you had an email come to you and you said, oh my goodness, this is exactly what I'm going to be doing, but with a different product or program or niche or something that really inspired you. And you went, the way that they said it totally caught my eye. The way that the photos in the email were presented, the photography, the wording, the structure, the sequence, whatever that is. Maybe it's just an inspiring person, or maybe it's not an email, maybe it's a bunch of images on Pinterest or things that you want to note, that you want to take a look at, that were inspiring you. Or maybe it was the way something was designed or laid out. So go ahead, and you can even start a little email file or an email folder and start saving these things, so that you can go back and say, oh, this inspired me, I remember. And you don't lose that thought, because so many things come through our email and we're looking online. We're just overwhelmed and overloaded just consistently on a daily basis, every time you're on your phone or your computer. And we have these amazing light bulb moments, and then if we don't save them, they're gone. So however this is, making a list of the people or creating a folder or whatever, just track those people that inspire you somehow, or just note them on your mind map of what you want to go back to and look at. That will help you get through your projects so that you can use them as inspiration. We're never copying things. I just want to be clear with that. We're never copying things. We're always creating unique things that are about our authentic business. And make sure that you're always thinking about your spin on something and your branding and your look, and never ever do anything word for word in that kind of sense, but use these people and their ideas and catch your eye on great copywriting, right? And so that's just an extra tip that I have. Okay, number 7. All right, this is key. I mean, this is so easy if you think about it. We're just going through the list here step by step. We are brainstorming. We are creating a little mind map. We're going to prioritize. We're going to break down each project topic into tasks. And from those, we're going to, if they even need broken down further into smaller bite-sized tasks, we're going to do that. Then we're going to keep a file or something that contains our inspiration or motivation for this project. And then the most key thing is implementation, because by implementing your ideas right away, you're really creating traction and momentum. You're starting to be consistent. You're stepping out there, you're getting your thing done, you're making the time to do this, you're not procrastinating. And in that, you're one step closer to completing this project. So good for you. All right. The next step would be to schedule all your tasks into some sort of an agenda, planner, calendar, whatever you prefer to use. And so here is where what I like to do in my project planner is I like to take those broken down bite-sized steps and pick 3 to 5 of them and say, what can I get done today? Hey, if I can only get one done, that's cool. Because maybe I've got a busy day and I'm in and out all day, and maybe I'm driving around or whatever that is. If I can just get one little thing done today, at least I got one thing done. But I want to start with 3 to 5 in case I have a really great break in my day where I can focus and be really totally focused and get busy and just get creating, because it's all about scheduling these things and making time to do them. So if you have these little bits broken down and you see a time in your schedule that you have a free spot, you can easily take those small bite-sized tasks and shove them in there and get them done. And if you're like me, you're a list maker and you like to tick things off as you go, that is why I really love the planner, because I can tick off things on my list of all my tasks that I created. And you can do that in your notepad too, once you have this started. But once these tasks are into such small little doable things, you can schedule them into your planner. And so you can see that when you have an hour or 2-hour slot here to get some work done, you know exactly what you're going to do. You're going to go right to that item and you're going to get it done. Because a lot of times what we do is we have this time, oh, I'm going to go get some stuff done. And we sit down, we start scrolling through Facebook, or we look at our stuff and we're really overwhelmed. Again, just coming all round circle, looking at all this stuff to do. And by the time we pick something to do, our time slot's over and we haven't got anything completed. So make sure to schedule a few things right away into your planner that you can fit, especially if you have a full work day. You can really, really prioritize that and get a bunch of stuff done. All right. So in creating your plan, we talked about brainstorming, prioritizing, planning out your topics, determining the tasks associated with those projects, choosing your timeline, getting inspiration, implementing, and scheduling and planning. So it's really that simple. You can do this, and I can't wait to hear all about the projects that you guys plan out. It's a really simple concept. It just takes a little bit of time, but I really feel like once you get that stuff out of your head and brain dumped onto paper, it's just so much more freeing. Plus, you can also see at that point what's actually realistic, because sometimes we have all these things in our head that aren't actually the right fit for us. We have this idea, but it's not quite right yet. And so we have the opportunity to really dissect that and say, how can I make that match my business and my brand? So I really hope that you have got some ideas and feel a little bit more motivated and focused on seriously getting busy and breaking down these projects, because it's super simple. You can totally do this, and I'm excited for you. So thanks so much for listening. I really appreciate you, and come visit me on my website, angelaneufeld.com, or visit me on my Facebook page. I would love to have you. Talk to you soon. Bye.